Hey guys, welcome back to Warframe. This is going to be a more in-depth look at the Panthera Prime, which I am holding right there. I learned some things. Let's kill those guys. I was testing something there. Yeah, I was testing some mod configs. I found 6 that you should have, and then 2. Well, let's get into the build here first that I'm using. Or I was using, but I found some pretty fatal flaws with it. So, serration. You can use amalgam serration if you want. I just don't have mine leveled. It's like a 10% damage fall off, but for more sprint speed if you want. Both are good, but you can choose which one you want. Split chamber. This one we'll get into with heavy caliber, but I personally will use it, but I'll show you in a bit here what that means. Point strike, vital sense. This is a okay crit weapon. The weird thing about this weapon is I've been getting orange crits without any bonuses to it. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if there's like a hidden passive to it. I haven't really looked that up, but I have been getting... It's very sparingly, but I do sometimes get an orange crit. I'm going with viral on this because the radial has slash already on it. And viral plus slash is pretty much like the meta right now. Whether you do it with hunter munitions or innate slash on it. Prime cryo rounds I put in here for the viral plus heat combo. And this, with 2 60/60 mods, it's up to 66%, which I think is fine. If you don't, we can get into that a little bit later, but... And then, heavy caliber. This is the mod I'm making this video for. I wasn't gonna make this video, but I've noticed some weird things with it, especially on this weapon. And we're gonna look at that now. So, heavy caliber you can use if you're shooting at the floor in front of you. With the radial damage, it could be fine. I'm not a fan of it, and I'll show you why here. Let's get back here, and what you're gonna notice is that the shots, when multi-shot is active, goes into a very large V pattern. And this makes it almost impossible to hit enemies at larger distances unless you're shooting at the ground. In which case you could probably aim it to the side a little bit of where you want to hit for one of them. But most of the game is in close quarters unless you're like on the plains or in a very open map or Vallis. So I don't think heavy caliber is great on this weapon. Now if you take split chamber off, the story kind of changes a little bit, but then it becomes the factor of do you want multi-shot or heavy caliber. So as you can see there, it's still veering off a little bit, but that's actually more manageable. Like I can manage that. It was veering more off when split chamber was on. And if you put Vigilante Armaments on it, it becomes a big mess. I'm not even going to showcase that because it's really not it. So I have 5 Forma on my Panthera Prime. I have a total of 5 B polarities. 1 is innate on this weapon. I changed the dash to a D polarity to fit in prime cryo rounds. If you don't have prime cryo rounds, if you want still the viral heat, you can go with either like, let's see, your cryo rounds, regular one, or rhyme rounds if you want more status chance. But we can fix that too with one other mod I'm going to show you. Which I like the prime cryo rounds because it basically increases the damage more. If you don't have it though, you can go with something else. But for the last slot, hunter munitions is still a option. I'm not sure if it's a necessary option. We'll spawn 5 level 100 elite lancers here. So without heavy caliber, it's almost like a pinpoint weapon there. And as you can see, we got 3 heats and 1 slash off 1 hit, and it took him down, I would say 1/4 there. Another one, no slashes on that. Now for this one, we'll take 3 shots. And 1 slash and 7... Not sure if that was viral or not. So yeah, I don't think Hunter Munitions is the way to go either. Just take all these guys out. You can go Hunter Munitions if you want, like that's your choice. I'm just giving my opinion on this. Now the mod that I think would work very well with this, well there's a few. Let's see here. Yeah, so I can recommend 3. One of them is Vigilante Armaments, of course, which will put your multi-shot up to 2.5. So there's a 50% extra chance for a 3rd strike, but I don't believe... I'm actually not sure what it does with the secondary charge. I don't use the secondary charge on this weapon. It's basically like that. Which, if you like that, we'll go into another mod here in a bit. But with Vigilante Armaments, with a 50% chance for a 3rd hit, that was 4 shots, and it took down a level 100 Elite Lancer. That was 2 shots, and we got some slash procs off, and... So Vigilante Armaments, if you're getting close to headshots or relying on the slash procs that are innate. Also, the radial damage has more slash, or is only slash. So if you want to aim at the ground of them to get the slash procs, that's very doable. And then the saw blade that comes out with the secondary fire, it's basically 2 hits there. Now the reason I don't like the second fire too much is because it feels slow, which is where we're going to get into this next mod, which is... Oh, by the way, you can get this from, I believe, Plains of Eidolon bounties when it's available, same as Hunter Munitions. Next mod here is Vile Acceleration. You can get this mod from doing runs in the dialect, the key runs, and that's where you can get, I believe, Hammershot too, which is another mod we'll look at here. But basically plus 90% fire rates, but minus 15 damage. That minus 15 damage is okay for the 90% fire rate, because you're basically firing almost 2 times as fast for a little bit of damage reduction, which is basically 15% off your serration, which I will actually showcase here once I remember to simulate them. And this one makes, I believe, the saw blade faster. Yeah, so it's just shredding them for that. And the saw blade is definitely more ammo efficient. As you can see, it's just going right through them. And I chose Elite Troopers for... Basically, it's one of the best... One of the most common enemies you'll face. And also because I don't have a lot unlocked here. Let's actually increase it to 10 of them. And then we'll let's press simulate here. And I'll show you the regular fire rate. Or the regular shots at this fire rate. And the thing with the regular primary fire is that it consumes 2 ammo per shot, so... Is there not anymore? Did I spawn 10? I don't know anymore. I barely spend any time here, so I'm not sure exactly how this place works. But yeah, so Vile Acceleration is also a mod that works. But I would use the Vial Acceleration if you're going to use the secondary fire a lot. Because it does make it a lot better. If you have Prime Shred, that could also work, but I don't believe the primary fire is affected by Punch Through since it explodes. Now the other two mods that I have in mind is Bladed Rounds. You can get for the Acolytes, or from the Acolytes, that appear twice a year, I believe. Or from Trade Chat, which is like 10 or 15 Platinum, which is easy to get. If you don't know how to get Platinum, just look up like a Prime Farming Guide and Selling Guide. So Bladed Rounds will increase the critical damage by 120% anytime you get a kill. So we're going to get a kill here. You can see the buff in the top there. And wiped out. Now, I'm choosing level 100 because that's the level of the top tier sorties. These aren't the strongest. What you doing, Claire? These aren't the strongest enemies out there, but it's a good indication because Grineer have the armor and stuff. So yeah, Bladed Rounds is just good if you want to just a big damage boost from the critical chance multiplier. And I believe this will put it up to like 7 times or so, or 8 times. Sorry, my cat's chewing a box that I have on the floor. And now the last mod I'm going to show here is Hammershot. Now this one is good because it does status and crit multiplier. So if you want, as you can see, 90% status and 5.6 times crit chance multiplier. We'll do a test here of that. So we took out 2 with all that. This one's almost dead. There's another one. And there's that. I think it's kind of equal almost to Bladed Rounds, just because of the status chance applying more slash procs. Oh, I don't want that. I want this. If I had to choose which one, if I was doing, let's say like sorties or something, I might choose the Vial Acceleration just because of the fire rate, pretty much. The more you shoot, the faster they die, as long as you still have the damage, of course. I do like the aspect of Hammershot on this one though, just because it gets that status almost all the way up to 100%. So you have, at this point, 90% chance to apply. If you hit them directly, you do have the chance to do puncture or impact, but if you shoot at the floor at their feet, you'll basically slash, heat, or viral. And if you do secondary damage, or the secondary attack, and then it's just slash, heat, and viral also. Bladed Rounds is definitely up there too. Vigilante Armaments can be good if you don't have these at all. Or if you're looking to face bigger crowds of enemies. I don't think Steel Path would be a good place for the Panthera Prime, because I don't think it does enough damage. Let's actually up this a bit. And we'll take it for an actual test drive here. Yeah, we'll do 5 of these, and then let's raise it to 150. And let's see how the Hammershot build. So we'll take out these guys first. So it takes out level 150 healers very nicely. Not really getting a lot of slashes though from this. So this is where we're going to be testing the 3 different mods that I would recommend. You guys want to die? Nope. What I noticed there too is that's very good against Corpus, it looks like. So now we'll do the same enemies though with bladed rounds this time. I just realized I said 3 mods, but I mean 4. Vile Acceleration, Hammershot, bladed rounds, and I forget the 4th one already. The good thing about bladed rounds is it will restart your buff every time you kill. So think about it now, bladed rounds would be good if you can keep killing stuff. Which this weapon isn't great at just straight killing stuff. I don't think. I'm not feeling bladed rounds right now, to be honest. I think we'll try Vile Acceleration now, just because I think that's going to perform the best. Hunter Munitions, bladed rounds, Vile Acceleration, or Hammershot. Okay. Put that in. And let's try this test again. So testing this now, I'm feeling that shooting at their feet isn't actually a great solution for this gun. The Vile Acceleration does feel a lot better. And then for our last test here, we will test out Hunter Munitions kill time. But from what I just seen from Vile Acceleration, I think it has it beat for just DPS wise. Yeah, Vile Acceleration has it beat. And I fell off the map. Ain't that swell. Yeah, I feel like slash procs on this weapon aren't really going to be too great, because the damage isn't up there for it. Mind you, these are level 150, and I think it's performing actually quite well. But if I had to pick one of the four, Vital Acceleration all the way. Definitely Vital Acceleration. Now, with that said, where is it? This now becomes an objective. If you're running out of ammo, use a rifle ammunition. There's, I believe, 320 in the mag. Yes, so a total of 400 shots, and you're gonna go through that quickly if you primarily use the primary fire. So then this, or the regular one, becomes more usable. Unless you're running with carrier, then you don't really have any worries about that. Or you could also do ammo drum, if you want. Like I said, this is all my take on it. I did spend some time with Inaros Prime. He's level 30. This is just a standby build until I get the Umbral build on him, which is basically gonna be the 3 Umbral mods: Augur Message, Cunning Drift. This has to be changed out for Steel Charge because I don't have an Umbral Forma ready for this guy, but Inaros, if you want the Umbral form or the Umbral mods on him, all 3 of them, it's basically gonna be a very balanced build with something like this, but more strength and more duration on it. I'm putting more duration on it too with Augur Message, because that's the way I like to play him. And the Karist Prime, which is right here. I'm pretty much putting this at mastery fodder for me. But one thing that I did see earlier that someone messaged me for is that it's basically the highest damage dagger in the game right now. I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I do believe that it's the highest damage dagger. And Karist Prime would be wonderful for Ash Prime. My Ash Prime looks ugly. He does. So this has been my take on the Panthera Prime. If you got these mods, I would recommend this build. Unless you're running out of ammo a lot, then I would trade Terminal Velocity for a Prime Ammo Mutation. Or the regular ammo mutation mod. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I like the weapon. I do. I really do. Heavy caliber, don't... Unless you like it, and will trade either split chamber or just shooting at the ground for it, I would avoid it. But Vital Acceleration's probably the best one to use. Bladed Rounds, Hammershot, and Hunter Munitions are all available too. Vigilante Armaments you can use, but I won't. Actually, now I'm thinking that I had this on when I was leveling, so that might be where the enhanced crits were coming from. I think that's actually what was happening, so... not sure if I said that, but I was getting orange crits, and I was like wondering where it was coming from, and then I just realized I had this on it while leveling it. But this will be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I will not be doing a video on the Karist Prime, because that's going to be fodder for me, and Inaros Prime, there's already lots of videos on him. The only thing that happened with him really is the... or that's the wrong screen. The buffs from Inaros, which is more armor. Well, this isn't exactly good. A good representation of it. Actually, I could probably form him and... Nah. He basically just got an armor upgrade, I believe, energy and a health upgrade. I will check to see his max health here, though. Gonna put those 4 on. Put on Physique. Not actually sure if I have enough for that. It's at 7,000 now. Let's put Resolve on. 8,000, and I don't have Prime Vigor, so this is not going to be too great. Do I have... I do, but I can't slot it in. I think you can reach 10,000 though, with Prime Vigor and Concoction Drift with Physique. Anyway, the ending of this is just me rambling on about them. So end of the video, Panthera Prime would recommend, just not heavy caliber. And thank you for watching.